Bowl 46 that, Patriot fans are saying weren't exactly too kosher. But, hey, let's face it, kosher hot dogs come from Brooklyn, not Massachusetts.
I agree with you, my man. Dr. Football Bill Chachkes with us every Tuesday talking Browns and NFL and all of that. Next week, camp will be in for everybody, my man.
I know, and, this is a big thing because I know some practices aren't being held until Saturday, like the Browns. Some of them are starting on Friday. Some are actually starting tomorrow. And, my last question to you, J-Rock, is, are you going to be there on Saturday for the first practice?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be there this weekend checking it out. Actually, the first practice is Friday for the Browns. They've got some very simple conditioning and some things like that, so I'll actually be out there Friday evening when things kick off. The first public one will be on Saturday.
So
I'm there, my man. I'm there.
You're bringing the young J-Rock with you? You're bringing the young J-Rock with you, right?
Oh, yeah. They always make a couple of sessions with me here. We always have some fun and do some training camp. They watch the show, and I do my work, and then we do the family thing. So, yeah, I'll definitely do some of that stuff as well. I'm looking forward to it, man. Always one of my favorite times of year.
I know, man. And I'm looking forward to getting down to Phoenix next week for an early workout with the Cardinals. We'll see how things look down there. So, we have a couple of good preseason games coming up, and I'll be attending the Chiefs-Cardinals game on the 23rd as well.
All right, my man. Football's here. Dr. Football every Tuesday talking about it with me on the Sports Fix. Bill, have a great week, and we'll catch up next Tuesday.
All right, man. You too. Be safe and take care.
You too, my man. Dr. Football in the house. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Doug Plagens, the voice of the Cleveland Gladiators and the Lake Erie Monsters, joins us coming up next when we come back. Thanks to Dr. Football. Don't go anywhere. Doug Plagens talking Gladiators and playoff football coming up next here on the Sports Fix.
Warning. Listening to the Sports Fix could cause serious injury, bodily harm, or even death.
Ah, broken blood vessel!
You've been warned. The Sports Fix.
Hey, this is Antoine Jameson, and you listen to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. quicklane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
The Sports Fix is now available every day on the world's largest internet radio service, iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeartRadio app, subscribe to the show, and get your fix. No football? No problem at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. The excitement never stops. Every day of the week brings a different set of food and amazing drink specials.
And now,
fans, Harry Buffalo North Olmsted is the home for every UFC pay-per-view live on the big screens.
let's get it all!
And let's not forget their mouth-watering trademark, the Bison Burger.
They sure are good.
Nobody does bison like Harry Buffalo. The perfect combination of healthy and delicious.
Hey there, eat up, y'all. You's as good church-going folk. Y'all deserve a little treat.
What are you waiting for? Get to Harry Buffalo, just outside Great Northern Mall today. Harry Buffalo. Join the herd.
Hi, this is Dean Chenoth, head coach of Cleveland's Lake Erie Monsters, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live on the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock with you as we roll on. Thanks again to my man, Dr. Football Bill Chachkes, for joining us in the last segment as camps are here. Football is underway. Another football season 52 days away from kickoff right there. I'm looking forward to every Tuesday. Always good talking to the doctor when he's in the house. Looking forward to next week when Browns training camp is in full swing. Hey, going back to the phone lines. They're still not open for you. My man Doug Plagens of the Lake Erie Monsters and the Cleveland Gladiators is on the phone. He's going to join us here in just a second. You can keep the conversation up on Facebook, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with me at the SportsFix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. I'll open up the phone lines back for you after this final segment of the show. But right now, as I said, my man Dougie P, Doug Plagens, voice of the Monsters and Glads, on the line. Doug, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's been a couple weeks. You've been on vacation. I'm glad to catch up with you. The Gladiators are still on a roll. What's happening, man?
Well, they just keep winning football games and keep finding ways to win games, whether it's a nail biter or a blowout like we saw here the other night on Saturday, doing it in a variety of fashions. And they've already tied the AFL's single-season record for wins in a regular season, so they've got one more week left, one chance to break that record, which would be a pretty cool feat for them to have the record for the most wins in a regular season. And also this win, if they can get it, if they can win this last game of the year coming up in Tampa on Saturday, it would guarantee the Gladiators the #1 overall seed in the AFL going into the playoffs, which would mean they'd have the right to play at home as long as they keep winning, which could mean that the Arena Bowl could be right here in Cleveland if the Gladiators are fortunate enough to get to that point.
See, I got to tell you, I'm sure you've seen ESPN, a lot of things on Twitter. They've tried to equivocate Cleveland's last week or 10 days to the LeBron effect. All these good things that have been happening, the Indians winning some games. I say go back. From the time the Gladiators clinched the playoff spot, look at you can even include the LeBron thing into that. Since the Gladiators clinched the playoff spot, look at all the good things that have happened to Cleveland.
Tons of good things happening, and these guys were, I believe, 9-0 before they lost a game. They played great football all season long. And like I said, if they can win on Saturday night, then they would know that as long as they keep winning games, they're playing right here at the Q.
And that's interesting too, that the champions. See, I didn't know that, but there's no unbiased location. It goes to the
no neutral site this year. Yes. The best remaining team will be the team that hosts it as far as record goes during the regular season. So that's why there's so much riding on this. And I guess what I like about it is it incentivizes this last game. I mean, the Gladiators could very easily just coast into this last game and just treat it as an exhibition, but you can't really do that because there is still something to play for, even though they're 16-1 and have wrapped up the top seed in the conference. They've wrapped up the division championship, but there's still something on the line. And honestly, I think the Gladiators are playing some of their best football right now heading into these playoffs, which again start on August 2nd. That's Saturday, August 2nd, 7 p.m. against an opponent to be determined. That's when the Gladiators will play their first playoff game.
Right, and no matter what happens with the result of the final game, that first playoff game guaranteed to be here at the Q, right?
Yes. The first two playoff games are guaranteed to be at the Q. The first one is definitely set for Saturday, August 2nd, 7 p.m., and that'll be, again, against a team that is to be determined, most likely either Philadelphia or Tampa, depending on how things pan out.
I'll tell you, man, you look at the Glad season, really, that's the way you want to put it together. A big run, you one blip in the road, and then you get right back on the roll and go back to it. Truly a strong season for them. And as you said, with a game that you could easily just say, it's the last game of the season, so much at stake here for the Gladiators as they get ready to head into some playoff action here. The month of August is going to be fun, man.
Certainly will. Like I said, the Gladiators at most, if they were to go all the way, they'd have 4 games left, one regular season, and then 3 playoff games. You got to win 3 games to win it all, and it's going to be a tough road because the teams at the top in the AFL, the teams that you would have to knock off to win a championship, are very good, and that's going to start in round 1, especially if it's Philadelphia, who's had a pretty disappointing year overall, but they are the team that has gone to the Arena Bowl out of this conference the last 2 years. They still have a lot of those players. They might be the most talented team on paper, which doesn't always win you the football games, but they have a lot of experience and a lot of talent, and that's going to be a tough matchup if they get in. And remember, the Gladiators had to go to the final play of the game twice to beat Philadelphia this year. They did win both games, but took to the final play with no time on the clock to win both those games. So, that's just one of the possible matchups that there could be in these playoffs coming up here pretty soon. But you look at some of these guys, the numbers that are being posted, Gladiators right now. I mean, Shane Austin on the current 7-game win streak that the Gladiators have, his touchdown to interception ratio is 49-5. He's six touchdown passes away from tying the Gladiators single season record and becoming just the second Gladiators quarterback to throw 100 touchdown passes in a season. John Dutton did that back in 2010. So if Shane Austin can throw 6 touchdown passes, which has kind of been the norm for him, 6 or 7 a game, that could be another piece of history that comes up this week.
And I'll tell you, the crowds have been there all season, too. Last week with Jacksonville, over 13,000 there. I mean, that's some solid attendance. I mean, it's definitely held up throughout the season and continue. Same thing, man. Whether it's, and you just got to say it's Cleveland in general, but, especially the Dan Gilbert properties, even through the struggles of the last few years of the Cavs and you look at the Monsters, which, of course, we talk about all winter long, man. That attendance, especially the last, 2 seasons or so, has really strengthened for all of those teams out of there. It speaks to the promotional skills as well as the synergy of the teams and just the value that they give to people and all of that, like, to keep those crowds. I mean, think about it. The Indians are a playoff team last year, and 13,064 could beat some of their Wednesday night crowds sometimes, especially early on in the season.
Well, our crowds they've been fantastic all season long, and the Gladiators have been up over 10,000 routinely over the course of this season. You mentioned the Monsters were over 8,000 a game. They had their highest per game average in attendance in the team's 7-year existence this past season. So
and they peaked at 15,
the fans have been fantastic coming out to the Q each and every night, and I only think it's going to get better, especially during this playoff run. Could you imagine if the Gladiators hosted the Arena Bowl? This place would be buzzing.
Absolutely. You brought up the Monsters there. They capped 15,000 in a couple of those, I believe, didn't they? I mean.
Yes, there was the football night with the Joe Hayden bobblehead. That was definitely over 15,000. I believe there were double-digit nights over 10,000. So it was a heck of a year for the Monsters. It's spilled right over into the Gladiators product, and I've heard it from fans and from media people alike that you come out to a Gladiators game, come out to a Monsters game. You and I talk about this all the time during hockey season, but the same thing goes during the spring and summer months for arena football. But if you come out to one of our games here at the Q, you're going to have a great time, and you could come out here and really, if you don't want to watch what's on the field, you don't have to, and you can still even have a great time because there's so much other stuff going on, so many activities for kids. I mean, there's just a little something for everybody, really, when you come out to one of our games here.
Here's something on a personal level that I want to ask you. When will you get some rest? Because with the Monster season, it ends, it bridges you, you're busy, you go right into Gladiators time. Now, let's just say they go through the month of August here. They go on, what are you going to get, a couple of weeks off? And then, boom, time for Monsters to start getting ready. And
it's coming quick. I mean, hockey has the shortest off season of any sport, it seems like. And but let's see here. So we've got the possibility, and I've thought about that, possibility if we were to play up until August 23rd, and then, you've got NHL training camps and stuff kicking up there about 2.5, 3 weeks later. And in those 2 weeks, if we were to go into the end of August, and that last week of August and that first week of September, it might be pretty hard to locate during that time. But it's a small price to pay. I mean, it's an awesome thing to be doing, and I'm thankful for it every day.
Oh, yeah, you're living the dream. Man, had the Monsters had an extended playoff run, you may have went like 10, 11 straight months without a break, man,
the overlap was pretty seamless. It was Monsters right into Gladiators this year, and it just shows you how busy. It's not just me, it's everybody here on our staff here at the Q who just does a great job each and every game, and we all have our time to unwind. Like I said, I took a couple of vacation days last week. To tell you the truth, this week Gladiators play in Tampa on Saturday night. The team will fly out Friday, but I am flying down tomorrow. Going to take a little 2-day rest period down in on the Gulf Coast of Florida, one of my favorite places in the country. So I'm making use of my time when I can get it.
That's why you said, I'm available tomorrow, man, and that's it, man. You were like, let's do it and get it over with, because I'm going down and getting some sun for a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the beach. Probably Clearwater, St. Pete, one of those places. Still haven't totally decided. I mean, I've got a couple days myself, so we'll figure it out.
You got to love it, my man. So